Hello, hello. Welcome to Monday's class. Oh yes, it says Monday on my watch, so it must be Monday. Welcome to Monday's class. I'm going barefoot today. I just thought it sort of feels like a barefoot sort of day. Plus, I think it's good for you. I find my trainers stabilize me a bit. So if I'm barefoot, it takes a little bit more effort on my part. I'm not saying that you have to go barefoot. If you want to go barefoot, that's absolutely fine. Sometimes it's better to do trainers. It's entirely a personal preference. Plus, I've got a nice sort of thick carpet, so I can. It's fine. I'm nice and cushioned. Right, so I'm sort of running out of topics to talk about. So what I thought I would do is do, in this little sort of 5-minute preamble, is do an A to Z of top tips. Not A to Z of top tips all today, obviously. X and Z will be interesting, won't they? So we're going to start today with A, and some of them are going to sound a bit sort of woke and trendy, but you just have to bear with me. Sometimes it's difficult to think of things. And today, the A stands for achieve. And I'm sure any of you have been teachers or trainers or anything, I know, just through life experience, will realize that setting yourself realistic goals so that you achieve them is very motivating. If you, like for example, I really wanted to be able to do 10 proper full press-ups. And so I started off very, very small, started doing just one, and not full press-ups either. And eventually I managed to do 10 press-ups. It's sort of gone by the way again, but that gave me a sense of achievement. So make sure that whatever it is you want, like people say, I want to get fit. It's this smart thing, isn't it? You need to be specific. So know what you want to achieve. One woman I worked with wanted to be able to go on holiday with her husband and walk enough to see the sights. So, I mean, and that when she did that, gave her a tremendous sense of achievement. It may be just doing this class 3 times a week that gives you a sense of achievement. But whatever it is, you need to be, as you know, I'm a runner. And when I say to people, I've entered the Manchester Marathon, they say, oh, I couldn't do a marathon. Well, nor could I on that day that they've spoken to me. It takes me 18 weeks to train up for a marathon. It tends to take over your life a little bit. So I have an idea of what I want. But I sort of work towards it. So if you're unrealistic with your achievements or with what you want to achieve, you won't get anywhere. So it's better to have little, just, your achievement could be today I'm going to do Rosemary's class. That's fine. Getting fit means different things for different people. Might mean getting up the stairs for some people. Might mean being able to get out of a chair without using your hands for other people. So the A is achieve. Some of the letters further on will almost be repeating what we've talked about in previous times, but you'll have forgotten it, and I will have forgotten it as well. So it doesn't do any harm to sort of just reiterate. Let's see who's here. Nuala. Oh, Nuala's missed a couple of classes. Oh, I know where you live, Nuala. I don't think I do, actually. Hi, Kieran, and hi, Adelia. Right. What time is it? Yeah, the dog's here today, but he's asleep at the moment. I took him out quite early and try it in a vain attempt to exhaust him a little bit, but it's getting hotter. He doesn't like the heat, so he tends to sleep. So hopefully we won't be interrupted, but who can say? Who can say? Nikki, hi, Nikki. Right, as usual, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click the little bell. Means you'll get notifications. I don't tend to write much on this site. Maybe I should find out how to do that. But anyway, it just means that you don't miss any little pearls of wisdom that I happen to put up. Right, so it's 11 o'clock. Let's get going. I don't know if there's anybody new here today. I'm going to do a little preamble for anybody that's new. Somebody messaged me the other day and said, do I need anything special for this class? Well, you need a chair. And if you have a band, not the ones that are like linked like that, but one of these. If you have one of these, we'll be using that. But if you don't, it's okay, because you can still do the exercises without the band. If you can't, if you're totally immobile, you can do most of the exercises sitting down, but it is much better to do them standing up, because that it helps coordination, it helps core strength, it helps general strength. So if you can, it's better to do them standing up. Have I missed anything out? I don't think so. Oh yes, the class is in 3 bits. We'll do a warm-up, the main body of the exercise, and then we'll do some stretching, and then you're free to go. So I think we'll just get started. So as usual, just walking very gently, marching on the spot, using your arms so that you get your shoulders. So the aim of the warm-up is to mobilize all the joints and to warm up, increase the blood flow to the muscles, so that your body is sort of ready for what's to come. Not that it's going to be terribly onerous. Oh yes, the achieve bit again, back to the achieve bit. When I do 10, during the class, when I do 10 of each exercise, 10 repetitions, if you can do 3, that's fine. That is the achievement for you. And then maybe next week you can do 4, and that's an achievement. Don't feel that it's not worthwhile if you can't do the 10. Because the whole point of this exercise class is that people can work to their own capability and get their own achievements. You don't want any. We're not entering the Olympics or anything. So this is to give you a good quality of life in your senior years, shall we say. Right. If you want, well, stop walking for the moment. Put your hands up by your ears. Nice big stretch. If you can't get your hands there, if you can only get them to there, if you've got impaired shoulder mobility, absolutely fine. Just put them to there. Do not force. Don't. I see people sort of really trying to do that. Just put your arms as far as they will go. Nice big stretch. And if you wanted, you could keep walking on your toes if you can. If you can't, just normal walking. If you don't want to do that, absolutely fine. Right, better let you move your arms. Back down to your shoulders, out to the side, back in, forward, back. Nice big stretch, down, out to the side, back in, forward and back. Last one, up, down, out to the side, back in, forward and back. Right, we're going to do a little bit more shoulder mobility. Put your hand on your shoulder and make your arm like a wing. And it sticks right out at, I suppose it's 180 degrees, isn't it? And imagine you've got a pencil or a pen sticking out your elbow. And we're going to draw nice big circles. So we're going to do 5 back and 5 forward. Full range of movement. 1, as much as you can. 2, without moving your torso. 3, 4, 5, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fabulous. Then this one. And backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, just to get the arms really nice and warmed up, we're going to do this one. So remember, your torso doesn't move. It's only your arms that move. And as one comes up and the other one goes back, so that the raised arm is by your ear, the back arm is as far back as is comfortable. Remember, if you can only get your arm to there, absolutely fine. Don't force it. We're going to do 10. So that's 1. This is good for your back. 2, 3. It's good for your shoulders, nice and slow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fabulous. How was that? Right. We're going to start by just doing heel digs. It might be more difficult to see my feet actually, seeing as they're not delineated from the lower half of my body. There's no sort of contrast with black shoes. Anyway, you're just digging your heel in, just very slightly, just not very slightly, but short distance in front of you. And then at the same time, you're going to anchor your elbows. And as you put one foot forward, you're going to do a bicep curl with the opposite arm. So it's right foot, left arm, left foot, right arm. And it's a definite bicep curl. It's only your forearm that moves. So we're going to do 3, 2, 1. Next one we're going to do is just a step out to the side. And at the same time, prayer hands. And out as your arm goes, as your foot goes out, both arms go out as well. All these exercises we're doing, this set of 4 exercises, are great for coordination, balance, strength, memory. 3, 2, 1. Next one is we're going to take a step back. If you're using the chair, you're probably only going to be able to do your arms on this one. We're just going to take a little, I'm going to go back up here, a little step back. Not very big step. And then as you step back, have your hands here at chest height, you're going to and splay your fingers. Give your hands a bit of a workout, your hands and fingers a bit of a workout. Okay, we'll do 3, 2, 1. And the last one, we're going to do, just tap your toe. Actually, it's easier doing this without shoes. Toe taps. And at the same time as you're tapping your toe, you're going to anchor your elbows again and opposite arm and leg again. So as you do a toe tap, you do a bicep curl. So 3, 2, 1. Right, we're going to do the whole lot of those last 4 exercises together. And sort of put them into a routine. So we're going to do heel dig. Remember, check that you're doing opposite arm and leg, back, and a toe tap. Heel dig. See the hesitation there, I wasn't concentrating. Back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. We'll do it one more time. Heel dig, side, whoops, back, concentrate, Rosemary, toe tap. How was that? It's quite warm today. Are you feeling nicely warmed up? Yesterday, Saturday, I did the exercise in reverse order, but I'm not going to do that today. One thing I'd like to say is that I'm conscious, particularly the first exercise is a squat, and I have to explain every time in case there are new people. or in case people have forgotten. But I'm conscious of the fact that those of you who know how to do a squat are twiddling your thumbs. So what I would like you to do while I'm explaining the squat is to put your hands behind your head. Now, remember, just touch. If your elbows should be 180 degrees. If you can only get to there, don't try and force your elbows out by forcing your head back. It's just your elbows. Your fingertips are very lightly brushing your head. So you need to keep them out there and march on the spot. I want to do the marching bit as well. So your back is nice and straight and you're marching whilst I'm doing, those of you that know how to do the squat, whilst I'm doing the explanation, I want you to do this. You can have your hands here even, just to show that they're not pushing your head forward. Okay, right. So I'm going to explain the squat for those who are new or who need refreshing. And we're going to use the chair if you need to. So as you know, or may not know, a squat is sitting down without the chair. So it's not going forward like that. Your knees should never go over your toes. So you're sitting back like that. Now you don't need to go down very far. If you've got the right technique, that's far enough. You can still feel it. If you poke your thighs, you can feel them taking the strain. Or if you want to go further down, you can. But always looking ahead. Don't do this and look at the floor. Okay, your back and your shins are usually parallel. If you can't do a free squat, are you still marching? If you can't do a free squat, use the chair, sit on the edge of the chair, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees, hold your hands like this out in front and stand up and then sit down, but without going plonk. It's all controlled, standing up and sitting down in a controlled manner. What I should have said is when you do the squat, don't let your knees come in. Similarly, when you're in the chair, don't let your knees come in. If you can't manage freestanding, swing your arms and use the momentum to get you up. And as a last resort, if you can't do either of those, put your hands on your knees and push yourself up. And then sitting down again, either with your hands on your knees or free. The aim is to be able to stand up from a chair without using your hands. All my exercises are functional. So we're not doing this just for the sake of our health. Well, we are, but it's so that you can translate it into making everyday activities easier. Right, you can stop doing this now. 10 squats. At the top, remember, doing the freestanding ones, just touch your hand behind your back. And that pushes the pelvis forward a bit and stretches your hip flexors a bit. Okay, remember, keep your knees out. So feet wider than hip width apart. And I usually put my hands out to counterbalance me. 1, 2. My knees seem better today than they were on Saturday. 3, 4. I'm going to turn sideways. So as you can see, I'm in a sitting position. 5, nice and slow. 6, you don't need to go down this far. 7, 8, 9, 10. Very well done. So next we're going to do a rowing action. So sitting forward in the chair. If you don't have a band, you can still do the arm exercises for this. You can still do the exercise. It's just more effective with a band. Put your feet out in front, toes pulled back. Put the band into the instep, keeping your feet on the floor. Have quite a good bit of tension on the band. You don't want it right at the end because then you're not going to get any benefit, because what you're going to do is you're going to be pulling against the band like that, but much more slowly than that. And don't rock your body at all. Ow. Right, so, oops, here he comes. I think, no, maybe not. Right, So you're going to pull your arms into the side, back like that. Your elbows don't stick out, and you're not lifting. It's just skimming, your hands are skimming your thighs. And we're going to go back. Imagine you've got a pound coin between your shoulder blades. You don't want to let it go. That's 1, nice and slow and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5. Those of you who have more than one band of different strengths, 6, might like to try this with a stronger band. 7, 8, 9, 10. But any exercise you're doing when you have to start leaning backwards and using your torso to help you, it's too strong, the tension is too much, so go back a step. Right. When I was saying before about not letting your knees come in, if that happens, it's usually because these muscles at the side of your hips, I think that's the right one, yes, are not strong enough. So we're going to stand up nice and straight behind the chair. You can hold on to the chair. It's not a balancing one. I'm just going to lift one leg like that. Have your foot pointing forward. And don't bend to the side, because it doesn't matter how high you get your leg. It's making sure that these muscles here pull your leg up. So we're going to do 10 on each side. Stirrings from the kitchen. 1. When you bring your leg down, don't put your weight on it. 2. It's only your leg that moves. 3. You can only get it to there, that's fine. It's still using these muscles. 4, and that's right for you. 5, it's a rather unnatural movement for your leg. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll switch to the other side. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fabulous. Ooh. That gets me every time. The leg that's moving and the one that's static. Right, we're going to do a bicep curl. If you don't have a band, just do the action. So I'm going to stand sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So you stand on your band and you anchor your elbow into your waist and you have tension on the band so that when your arm is there, you're consciously having to hold it up. It's not like there. So you start off there and all you're doing is closing your elbow. If you're having to do this, if you're doing very heavy weights and you're doing that, towards the end you'll see people doing that. Don't, if you have to move your torso, stop, because it's much less effective and you've gone too far. So anchor your elbow. We're going to do 10. So 1, just close your elbow. You don't need to lift at all. Some people lift. Just closing your elbow. 2, 3. If it helps, put your hand there to stop it moving. 4. But you can put if you put your hand on your bicep, that muscle. 5. You can feel it moving. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I always think it's a good idea when you're trying to exercise a particular moving and is under tension, then you're doing the right thing. So 1, Oh, there's a warning come up. Hang on. Oh, no, it's gone now. Don't know what that was. Right, start again, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice and slow and controlled. 9, 10. Control it when it goes down as well, because controlling it down is as important as lifting it up. Right, good stuff. Now we're going to do, this is a balancing exercise. So we're going to engage core. As you remember, the core are those, it's the big sort of muscles around the abdominals, internally and externally, that support you. Supports the spine and it allows for movement. So we're going to get those nice and tense, and that helps with balance. So if you breathe out, pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can. Don't want to see any of this. I shouldn't see anything. Well, obviously I can't see anything, but so breathe out, navel into your backbone, and then relax slightly. And then we're going to stand on one leg and lift one leg. If you can get your thigh parallel to the floor, great. But however high you can get it up there. And then, had to hold on there, lift it slightly higher. Woo! Lift it slightly higher. If you're hardcore, it's not as good. My balance isn't as good on bare feet. If you're hardcore, instead of lifting up again, you can straighten. But that is quite tough. Okay, so that was 1. I don't know if you were doing it along with me. Up, up. 2, try not to put your weight on your leg when it goes down. 3. 4, balance is not very good today at all. 5. Hang on, I'm going to re-engage my core. Pull your navel into your backbone. Relax it slightly. 6. I'm going to have to practice this, aren't I? 7. 8. 9. This is becoming embarrassing. 10. Wow. Makes a big difference doing this barefoot, I have to say. Right, so breathe out. Navel into your backbone. Relax slightly. And then up. Up. And down. 1. Oops. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Up again. 9. 10. Well, my right foot is definitely better at balancing than my left. Right, we're doing the upward row now. If you haven't got a band, hold your thumb with your other hand, and you've got a V here. And remember, it's your elbows that always have to be higher than your hands. So it doesn't matter how high you get it. If you can get it up to there, fabulous, as long as you've still got that V. If you can only get it to there, that's great as well. What I don't want is I've seen people struggling to pull it up to their chin and immediately their elbows go down. Doesn't matter, it's the elbows are high. And then if you've got a band, stand on it and then cross it over. Let me show you this. And you hold it, your hands are together. Try and make your forearm, your wrist and your hand as one. That's, don't have your wrist going like that. And remember, however far you can do it is for you. Doesn't matter how far, as long as you've got your elbows higher. We're going to do 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. Right, we're going to try and do some abs work in the chair. So, sitting in the chair, sitting right near the front, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under knees, hands in front, and we're going to sit back and just brush the chair with our back. Don't collapse your back. You're staying absolutely straight. Your back is like a board. Oh, I forgot to switch my phone off. Right, so 1, and come forward a little bit. And then back slowly, touch. 2, slowly. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to be very controlled to make sure you don't 8, go too far back onto the back of the chair. 9, and last one, 10. And then when you do this, there's a temptation to bring your legs up and keep your feet on the floor. What we're going to do now is just, if you go back, touch the back of the chair with your back and then sit forward just a millimeter. So as you're leaning back, and then you're just going to straighten your leg. Your thigh doesn't come up. It's just your lower leg that straightens. And with your toe pulled back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice and controlled. Don't use momentum. 9, 10. And then if you can, without having to sit up, go into the next. Go use the other leg. 1, 2. Remember, pull your toe back. 3, 4. You can feel your thigh muscle. It's your thigh that you're strengthening. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then sit forward, sit up. Oof. That tests this, but also it should be testing your stomach. Right. We've done the bicep, which is the one at the front. We're going to do the tricep, which is this one behind. If you've got a band, if you haven't got a band, just do the motions, the exercise without the band. So one hand behind, and the other one that's holding. This controls the tension. The other one back like that, as if you're going to whack somebody over the head with a hammer. I don't know why I use that analogy. And And what's going to happen is you're going to control the tension with this one, and this one is just your forearm's going to go up to the ceiling. If you can't do this with your arm, put this one at chest height, and you're going to push down to the floor. Okay, I'm going to do 10 of each. Make sure it's just your forearm that moves. We don't want your shoulder to move. So 1, 2, 3. Try not to let it push your head forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a good one to do in front of the mirror, actually, so as you can see if your shoulder is moving. Because sometimes your shoulder moves and you don't realize it's moving. So sometimes you're going like that, bringing it forward, and your shoulder's moving. Right, so arm behind your head, or at chest height, whichever is best for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. People find the technique of that one difficult, because you've got to get the band right and it's not moving if you've got a weight, what you can do if you've got weight is you can do it, put your hand back there, hold your upper arm so that it can't come forward. It just has to go to the ceiling. But that's more difficult with a band. Right, what are we doing now? Oh yes, we're doing another 10 squats. Hooray! Right, you don't need to do this time. If you can get in the habit of doing this every sort of 3 times a day, say, it is very good for your back. But remember, don't force your head. Right, squats. We're ready? So, 1, and then nice and slow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. If you can't do 10 with good technique, do as many as you can with good technique and then stop. Because without good technique, it's not as effective and you risk injuring yourself. Right, now, it's my favourite, she said with heavy sarcasm. So it's the side bend. So feet wider, slightly wider than hip width apart. Remember, we're going to bend to the side, not bending forward or back, properly straight to the side. If you want to use this arm, make sure it's straight so that you're actually having to work it to keep it straight rather than letting it flop. We're going to do 10 on each side. Right, so 1, oops, straight arm, Rosemary. 2, 3. You should get slightly further down on each one. Ooh, falling backwards. 4. As you get more into it. 5, as your muscles get a bit more used to it. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Whew. Next one, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Whew, glad that's over, aren't you? Right, we're going to do our little routine. We'll do it slowly to begin with. So, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, oh, did a toe tap there. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, the imaginary music's going on in my head. I don't know if any of you play real music, but we're going to do it now as if we're a bit faster and as if there was music playing. So if you get hopelessly confused, just try and join back in and it will come eventually. Don't give up. Right, so heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Just take smaller steps. Heel dig, because that way you can go faster. Side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, 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 we'll go faster. Side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Fred Astaire, eat your heart out. Right. How was that? Did you manage? Somebody's put a big comment up there. Oh, they're just woken up to the fact that you can't see us. It's even more amazing what you do. Ah, Prue, are you sure I can't see you? Are you absolutely certain? Big brother is everywhere. Or in this case, big sister. Right, we're going to do stretching now. And we're going to stretch the calf muscle. So remember, front leg is bent, back leg is straight, both heels are on the ground, feet are both facing forward. If you can't get your back heel on the ground, move your feet closer together. Right, so leaning forward, and the stretch you should feel is in your upper calf, almost behind your knee. I'm going to hold that for a few more seconds. And then we're going to very gently bend your back knee. Your heel comes off the floor. And you should feel the stretch moving down into your Achilles. You don't need to bend it very far. It's just to move your heel off the floor just slightly. And then switch legs. The further forward you lean, the greater the stretch. He's been very good, isn't he? Not a peep from him. And then bend your back knee. Heel will come off the ground. That's that one. Right, the next one, if you need to, you can hold on if you're going to do this. Grab your foot, your ankle, your sock, I'm not wearing any, your trouser leg, anything you like, and standing up straight, have your knees together. If you can't do that, so to get a stretch here. If you can't do that, do this. This is dynamic stretching, because the movement just stretches the muscle. So if you're doing static stretching, just hold it until I tell you to. Swap legs, not yet. If you're doing dynamic stretching, just keep doing this. If you can put your hands behind you. See if you can kick your hands. You see footballers doing this, don't you? Those of you that are doing the static stretch, swap legs. And those of us that are doing the dynamic, keep going. When I say swap legs, I always think it feels like going to a shop and saying, can I have Betty Grable's legs, please? So nice to talk to an audience, most of whom will know who Betty Grable was. Right. Even although that's before my time too. Right. Cease and desist. Right, we're going to do the hamstrings, which are the big muscles on the back of the legs. So sitting nice and straight in the chair, at the front of the chair, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under knees. One leg is straightened, toe pulled back. Question, what's it called? That's right, dorsiflexion. Sitting up nice and straight, lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. Now this should be challenging but not painful. When I do it in class, I hear sort of things like, oh, groans. Groans are okay, yelps of pain or not. If it's painful, just sit up a bit. Some of you will be able to go further down than others because some of you are more bendy than others. That's the way of the world. And sitting up. Other one, straight out, sitting up nice and straight, lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. So at times like this, when you're doing this barefoot, that you think, oh, I really should paint my toenails. In fact, I might do that today. That's the good thing. If you're bendy, you can get down and do your toenails or bring your leg up. And then sitting up. Okay, standing up. Hands out to the side, palms facing forward. Round the old oak tree. Remember, your arms are like that, not like that. At shoulder height. And dip your head. And then interlink your fingers if you can. Interlink your fingers behind your back. If you can't, just try and get your elbows together. Just think about that penny. Squidge it in. Somebody's going to try and get it, so squidge in. If you can interlink your fingers, pull your arms up like that, and that gives you a good stretch across your chest. And then releasing. One hand across your chest, the other one, the other hand just slightly above your elbow. Ow, this is hurting my shoulder today. If it hurts your shoulder, my shoulder has to sort of clunk into position to be able to do this. It's done it now. If you've got any shoulder mobility issues or if this hurts, please don't do it. I think I've said before, it's not really a stretch I enjoy doing, but in fact, I might miss it out from now on. And then do the other one. I'm not convinced. Yeah, don't twist your body like I was doing then. I'm not convinced that it does actually do much. And then one hand up over the back like that. If you can't, if you've got shoulder mobility problems, it's maybe best to leave this one out. But then just above your elbow, just push the arm back that way so that you stretch here. See, I do feel the benefit of this one. I do feel my triceps stretching, but I don't feel anything with the deltoid one, the one across the body. I think I might miss that out. And then release. And then the next one, the other one, the next one. How many arms have you got, Rosemary? Hold that. And then, getting your chair. And sitting down, you can sit normally as it were, but don't use the back to rest against. Always use your muscles to support yourself, not the back of the chair. Dip your head, put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Just let the weight of your hand push your head down. And then bring your head up. And then turn your head to the left. People that are new, follow along with this. So turn your head to the left. Note where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Don't turn your whole body, just your head. See how far you can turn it. And then put your hand on your chin and try and turn your head back to the center, but resist with your hand. So you're creating tension in your neck. So do that. And then have that fight going on. I want to turn my head. No, you can't. Yes, I want to. And then relax totally. And you should be able to turn your head just even a few nanometers to the left. Just hold it there for a couple of seconds. And then bring your head back to the center. And then we'll do the same thing again. Turn your head. Note where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Put your hand on your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center. Really try and turn it back to the center. Have that fight going on, and then relax totally and see how much further you can get your head round. Don't force it, but it should just naturally go a couple of, even if it's millimeters, a couple of millimeters more. We'll hold that for a couple more seconds and then bring it back to the center. And that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you on Wednesday. Well, as you know, Prue, I won't actually see you. Can we do the shadows again sometimes? Yes, I'll do the shadows on I'll do the shadows on Wednesday. Delia. Oh, my throat's suddenly gone dry. Yes, we'll do it again. Betty Grable with $1 million legs. Definitely. That's what I mean when I say swap legs, Nuala. Right. Thank you, Rosemary, for listening to the pass through. Discipline. Oh yes, Nikki, discipline is my middle word, my middle name, in fact. I'd forgotten about Woman's Hour. It seems a long time ago. We've been doing this quite a long time, haven't we? Right, anyway, stop nattering, Rosemary. I feel sleepy after the neck stretch. Right, maybe it's interrupting the flow of blood to your brain or something. Right. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye. Oh, not bye. It doesn't want to go.